Day with Chris Cuomo and Allison Camerata.
Good morning. Welcome to your new day. Up first, this is a big week for President Trump. This will mark the 100th day of his presidency. It will be on Saturday. Congress facing several battles. First, a spending bill. Are they going to keep the government open? Imagine a shutdown so early in the presidency. Unlikely. We'll go through why. But the president's big ask was that there would be a vote on health care and that border wall.
So the budget battle comes as the White House makes a big push on health care and plans to unveil the president's tax cut plan. All of this as new polls show President Trump's approval rating hitting historic lows. Can Mr. Trump have a win during this major week? It is day 95 of his presidency. Let's begin our coverage with CNN's Joe Johns live at the White House. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Allison. 5 days ago, reality now setting on here at the White House as well as on Capitol Hill about the slim likelihood of getting a do-over on health care through the House of Representatives before the end of the week. The White House and congressional Republicans now apparently settling on a strategy to do what it takes to avoid shutting down the government, even though the president's desire to get funding for his border wall seems to be getting in the way of that message.
The president has been pretty straightforward about his desire and the need for a border wall. He'll do the right thing for sure, but I will suspect he will be insistent on the funding.
The White House setting up a showdown with Congress just 5 days before a potential government shutdown, demanding that a $1.4 billion down payment for President Trump's border wall be included in this week's must-pass spending bill.
The Democrats do not support the wall. The burden to keep it open is on the Republicans. The wall is, in my view, immoral, expensive, unwise.
Democrats scoffing at the demand as some Hill Republicans speculate whether the fight is worth the political capital.
I think that's a fight worth having and a conversation and a debate worth having for 2018.
Once the government is up and running and stays up and running, then we have to just fight this out over the next year.
President Trump insisting that American taxpayers need to foot the bill for the wall now, but eventually at a later date, Mexico will be paying. A very different message than his campaign bluster.
The American people will not pay for the wall. Mexico will pay for the wall, 100%.
Vice President Mike Pence ending his overseas trip a day early to help out on Capitol Hill. Despite the president's attempt to downplay the importance of the 100-day mark, Trump's jam-packed schedule proving the administration thinks the milestone is significant. Officials telling CNN the president is expected to sign a flurry of executive orders this week, culminating with a major rally in Pennsylvania on Saturday to mark his 100th day in office.
He is fulfilling his promises and doing it at breakneck speed.
White House officials are trying to prove the president is taking action, given the lack of legislative accomplishments.
We're talking about historic accomplishments by this administration in the first 100 days, but all anybody wants to talk about is health care.
Despite the touted efforts to revive the battle to repeal Obamacare, officials now say there is no expectation of a vote before Friday.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. So we're hopeful for this week, but again, it's not something that has to happen in order to define our success.
Trump's budget director also downplaying expectations for Wednesday's big announcement on tax reform.
So what you're going to see on Wednesdays for the first time is here's what our principles are. Here's some of the ideas that we like, some of the ideas we don't like.
And today, diplomacy is back on the menu at the White House. The president expected to have dinner with about a dozen diplomats on the UN Security Council, including the United States ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley. Chris and Allison.
All right, Joe, appreciate